Hello and welcome to the Fear Only Seizes Your Success podcast, where we focus on moving past our fears and into a space where we have the courage to follow our dreams. I'm your host, Leslie, and I'm here to get into the topic of fear and how it seriously impacts us. I personally used to have many fears that kept me stuck in a place that I didn't want to be in. And rather than taking a leap of faith, I sat there in pain and in misery because I was afraid of change. Of course, I still feel fear, but rather than being paralyzed by these scary thoughts, I like to sit and look at them a little deeper. I like to ask myself, how can I work through these thoughts? Let's talk about fear. What is fear? Fear can be defined by an unpleasant feeling triggered by the perception of danger, whether it's real or imagined. Another way to define fear is by an unpleasant emotion caused by the belief that someone or something is dangerous and they're likely to cause pain or threat. Dictionary.com defines fear as a distressing emotion aroused by impending danger, evil, or pain, whether the threat is real or imagined. Another definition is an unpleasant but often strong emotion caused by the anticipation of awareness of danger. So, what do these definitions have in common? They're describing fear as a reaction to a thought that something is a threat. So, if you can control your thoughts, theoretically, you can control your fears. What does that mean? That means that so many of us are not living to our highest potential due to certain fears. We limit ourselves because we're afraid of what may happen if we step outside the box and live as we wish. We ask ourselves things like, what would people say? What would my family say? What if I fail? Well, let me ask you this. What if you succeed? What if after you tried one last time, you finally got it? What if you viewed your fears as a challenge? What if you challenge yourself every day? Who would you become? One way to tackle our fears is to be mindful. We must be mindful of that little voice in the back of our heads that says that we can't do it. Where did that voice come from? Can you remember? Well, this week, I challenge you to simply observe your thoughts. Observe. What are you afraid of? Do you think these fears are dangerous? Do you think that they're real? What are you telling yourself that you can't do? I also want you to challenge yourself to be kind to yourself. Well, that is the conclusion to this week's podcast. I hope that you enjoyed, and I hope that you tune in to us next week.